So this is probably going to be the last week where you will have any videos from me. So basically, I just want to go and refresh you on vocabulary. So a coefficient is the number that is in front of a variable. Your variable is the letter or the unknown. It can be X, it can be Y, it can be R, it can be T. And your constant is that number that is by itself. It is not attached to a letter at all. So when we are combining like terms, in algebraic expressions, like terms have two important things in common. One of the things that they have in common is they have the same variable, and that variable has to be raised to the same power. So for example, x squared gets matched with x squared. X's get matched with x's. X's and x squareds are two different things. They would not be combined together because they have the same variable, but they do not have the same power. Now, a variable with no coefficient has a coefficient of 1. So what that means is if I have the variable x, I know in front of that there is a 1 that is assumed to be there. Terms take the operation symbol directly to the left of the coefficient. I will show you all that here in a second. And constants are like terms. So what we're going to do on here is we are going to highlight the like terms. So for example, if I have 5x, I also have 2x. They are alike. And I highlighted that plus sign because that would mean that it is a positive 2x. Then I have my constant of 20. And I also have a constant of -9. So notice how I highlighted that plus sign in front of the 20 because that's a positive 20. I highlighted that negative in front of the 9 because that is a -9. And then lastly, I have 3x squared. I'm highlighting that plus sign in front of it because that's a positive 3x squared. And it is a like term would be that negative x squared. And remember, this would be assumed that there is a 1 in front of that. So if we want to simplify each expression, if you are able to print this out and highlight, great. If not, you can write these down and you can highlight on them. Another way to do this if you don't have highlighters is to draw different shapes around it. So for example, if I wanted to put triangles around all of my y's and then do a box around my x's so I know what I'm combining. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 y's. So I would have 4y plus that 1x. And remember, each one of these, if it doesn't have a coefficient, it is assumed that there is a 1 in front of it. So on this one, if I highlight my x's, again, I'm going to highlight that negative in front of it because that's important. Highlight my y's, highlight that plus sign in front of it. So I have 3x plus a -1x, so that gives me 2x. If I have 2y, a positive 2y plus a positive 7y, that gives me plus 9y. So on this next one, I'm going to highlight my constants in blue. I don't have any other constants, so that's the only one I highlight that. I'm going to highlight my x squareds in pink. And notice how I'm highlighting that plus sign. And then I'm going to highlight just my x's in green. Again, notice how I highlighted that negative. So if I have 8x squared plus 2x squared, that means I have 10x squared. I cannot combine this with my x squareds because this is just an x by itself. So I don't have anything to add or combine with it. So I just bring it down a -3x. I don't have anything to combine with that 5. So I just bring down that 5. On here, I have 2z and I have a regular z. I have 4x, which I highlight that negative. And then I just have 9. So I'm going to have my -4x. 2z, I assume, or I know that there's a 1 in front of this other z, so that means I have plus 3z, and then I just have my constant by itself is 9. So you have multiple problems to practice on here. You have double on these two because I couldn't like take half of it. So, but you're basically doing the top part and the top part on this one. If you have any questions, try and Google it first. There's a lot of information out there on Google about combining like terms if you're confused. If not, you can hop on Zoom. Have a good day.